All right, hello there, class. Today is September 16th, 2020. Here's our instructions. Okay, I'm not going to read through the reminders every single day. They have been the same all week long. But while we are waiting, if you are attending our Zoom live, I would like for you to please go to the Schoology attendance question. And then I want you to write your answer to the following prompt into the chat box. You're going to tell me how many elements and how many atoms are there in each of the chemical formulas off to the side. So I have my compound glucose. This is my chemical formula for glucose. You need to tell me how many elements are in this formula and how many atoms are in each element for the formula. This is my compound butane. Here's my formula. And this is my compound for octane, and there's my formula as well. Learning objective. Today you're going to accomplish a lab on how elements and compounds are different and really do a virtual copy of a hands-on lab that we would accomplish in class. Remember, labs are considered 40% of your grade. This is a graded assignment. You need to ensure that you are following along with the instructions and that if you have any questions that you ask for help. Do not just sit there and think, oh, I don't understand or I'm confused. Do not just set it off to the side and forget about it. You've got to try. So I'm going to take you to the slides for our nuts and bolts lab. And then I'm going to walk you through on the process here. Okay, so this is our nuts and bolts lab. Your objective is to use models to identify the differences and similarities between elements and compounds. You're going to explore the differences and similarities amongst various models to evaluate the evidence that supports each model being an element or a compound. These are the instructions. Now, these are also the instructions that were on the paper copy of the lab. So they are transferred digitally word by word. So number one, you're going to sort the nuts, bolts, and washers into separate piles. You do not have to do that with this because there's no actual hands-on physical nuts and bolts for you to do. Each nut, bolt, and washer represent an atom of that kind of element. The symbol for the element represented is shown below. So for the two bolts, I have a capital B. That's my element symbol for the small one. And then I have a BB, large B and small b. That is my element symbol for the large bolt. My other symbols and elements are a capital N, a capital W, a capital WB, and a capital NH. Okay, so all these 6 different pieces represent different elements. In the following tables, create the element or compound by using the nuts, bolts, and washers. For example, the compound BNH2 will be represented by placing 2 hex nuts, the ones that represent NH, onto the small bolt, which represents the element B. So you're just going to click and drag them on. Oops. Number 3, for numbers 1 through 9, drag and drop the elements into diagrams that create the task. Then type the symbol for the element or formula into the compound diagram. Number 4, complete analysis questions. And number 5, complete the Venn diagram that follows. So you are going to drag and drop the nuts and bolts in to represent a diagram for the creation, and then type the symbol or the formula into each diagram. So for example, number 1 is saying it wants you to create an element. Well, all of these individually are elements. And I know that because of the chemical symbol it has. It's one symbol, either one letter or 2, that represents one particular type of element. So you can click and drag any one that you want. I'm going to see, I have to be in edit mode. So to be in edit mode, I'm going to click and drag this one. That's going to be my element. And then I'm going to come here, and what is my symbol or my formula? Well, since it's only one and it's by myself, it's not really a formula, it's just the symbol. So my symbol is going to be large b, small b, and that is it. And you're going to do that with each of the elements. And I realize I went to slide 5, so if you go to slide 3, it'll have different ones. The amount that you use should be the same. Okay? So you should use all of the washers and the items up here. I believe only once for each slide. Okay. Once you're done, you're going to answer the analysis questions. If you do not answer them in complete sentences, you will lose points. And then you are going to drag and drop the phrases to complete the Venn diagram. So you're going to read each rectangle that has a statement in it, and you're going to determine, is that statement fall under the elements, under compounds, or does it represent both elements and compounds? And if so, you're going to place it in the correct spot. So for example, represented by a chemical formula. Well, a chemical formula is when I am showing my elements and my compounds using chemical symbols. So if my chemical formula is only one type of element, it would work here. But it would also work in compounds, because if I'm having 2 or more elements combined, I'm going to have a formula as well. So this one would actually fit right here, because it does work for both elements and compounds. So you need to go through and read them all and drag them into the correct spot.